This is what I've always wanted Genshin Impact to be. Just my character and me getting beat down by 6 law churls. It's all possible thanks to the triumphant return of Divine Ingenuity. A nearly perfect return. Just one thing's missing. Where the heck is the option to play as the Traveler? Ugh. I guess we all got them banned after the crazy shenanigans of the first event. But hey, we traded the Traveler for a ton of new content. So let's break down Divine Ingenuity of version 3.7 and explore what craziness is at our disposal to build the content we all wish Genshin had normally. Like 6 law churls beating up your character. Firstly, the big additions. You've already seen one of them. Enemies. But they get even bigger because you can add select bosses to your domains. No weekly bosses, but I feel this is one step closer to the dream of being able to fight Child, the Raiden Shogun, and Ashtaha all at once, even if many miles still remain. You're limited by 1000 resource points, and a boss takes up 550, preventing double bosses. But what's neat is you can use those remaining points to add other enemies to the battle. How about Hydro Mimics and the Jade Plume Terror Shroom? That's terrible. Enemies can have their levels configured, up to a maximum of 95. And though enemies come in groups, these groups can be edited down to a single enemy to save resources and create any mixed bag of baddies. The majority of the game's enemies are available. The cast of Hilichurls, Ruin Machines, Slimes, Fungi, Treasure Hoarders, Eremites, the list goes on. It's notable, however, that the entire Abyss cast is missing, along with some of Sumeru's newer enemies. To take on these tough foes, you're going to need some strong characters. Luckily, the event lets you build a team comprised of any 4 characters in the game. Yes, even if you don't own the character. Trial versions for every character, except Traveler. Can't even use your own Traveler. It should be noted that the domain designer may limit which characters you can pick, so some domains may not allow you to freely choose. Now, trial characters have a set build, and it's natural to think it might feel a bit too weak. This leads us to our next new feature, level ups and purchasable buffs. Creators can add a shop system to their domains to let players power up. It's no small selection of buffs either. Currency for the shop is earned within the domain by defeating enemies and opening treasure chests, and the same is true for earning experience to level up. All of this stuff is configurable, so the designer may have it so that some enemies don't give currency. Hoyoverse just really went crazy with this event. The customization is crazy, and there's still a lot more to cover. Like the fact that it no longer just has to be you alone in the domain. You can invite a friend, if the domain supports it. You know, just invite them to the domain you made. The one where you surrounded their spawn point by 20 explosive barrels. Alright, everything up until now has all been really cool. Lots of new stuff to build, whatever. But there's one more addition that, in my opinion, trumps all. The addition of mechanisms and the ability to program them. We can assign logic to mechanisms. What mechanisms? All these mechanisms. Every elemental monument, gravel piles, pressure plates, ruin torches, regular switches, doors, puzzles can now be crafted. For example, having to activate whatever number of elemental monuments to open a door. You tie the monuments to the door, set up the logic so they all need to be activated, and your puzzle is complete. That's a simple and somewhat expected example. However, the logic is not limited to such simplicity. You can tie a switch to a whole slew of objects to make them appear, or even disappear. Imagine hitting that one-time switch and seeing the shiny golden treasure chest vanish before your very eyes. I'm totally using that in one of my domains. Puzzle elements can even interact with one another, such as extinguishing torches or monuments. Spawn wind currents, attempt to make a killer trap like I did and epically fail. Why can't anything detonate these barrels? So weird. Despite there only being a few conditions and trigger events in the logic, there's a ton that can be done with it. Experiment and go crazy. I know I'm going to be. Lastly, and if you played the first demo stage already, then you know this, but there's Theater Mechanicus toys as well. You can sort of create a mini Theater Mechanicus. Pretty neat. And that's a heck of a lot of features and stuff to play around with. With only 1,000 resource points, it's a wonder how you'll ever fit it all into one domain. And that'd be true if it weren't for the fact that each domain can have up to 6 rooms, with each room allowing up to 1,000 points. So actually, you've got 6,000 to spend. Honestly, there's just so much creativity possible. If you were thinking of skipping version 3.7 due to it being heavily Genius Invocation TCG related, I would recommend thinking again. You don't want to miss the unique gameplay this event brings, even if you only want to play domains and not create them. This is truly Genshin Impact at its best and most fun, and it'll only be here for a few weeks, so enjoy it while you can, before domains once again become defeat these enemies in X minutes, and then claim a reward from a tree. This is Musashi, signing off. Till next time.